Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday. So I'm sure we've all heard of the phrase, safety is our #1 priority. And most people, such as myself, agree that safety is very important to running a successful business or just in general for general life. And that's the biggest concern about what I want to talk about today, and that is positive train control. So in 2008, Congress passed a bill called the Rail Safety Improvement Act that called for all of America's railroads to make travel by train safer and prevent future accidents. Now from that bill, positive train control was developed. It's a system of highly advanced technologies that's designed to prevent certain types of accidents from happening, like trains hitting other trains, trains hitting maintenance workers, or trains going too fast. And the PTC system, or the Positive Train Control System as it's referred to, has three main components. The first one being the onboard locomotive monitor, which, as you would expect, monitors the speed and the braking of the locomotive that it is currently on. The second item is something called a wayside system, which is a trackside antenna or box that monitors the signals, the switches, and anything else that could be on the track that it's governing. And thirdly, you have the back office server, which is kind of like the hard drive. It houses all the information about the railroad, what the train is carrying, what locomotives are on it, where it is on the railroad. So this was all a part of the bill that was enacted by Congress in 2008 that would prevent all of these different types of accidents from happening. Now just knowing this, it wouldn't seem like it would take a whole lot of time, or at least you wouldn't think it would take a whole lot of time in order for all of this technology to be implemented. Just a reference, Congress set the deadline for installation of all this PTC equipment by January 1st, 2016, which, as we know, is 2.5 months away. The downside is the railroads aren't anywhere near complete with installing all of this PTC equipment. Now, the railroads aren't shirking their safety responsibility in order to keep the railroads safe. It's just this technology is so brand new, no one knows how to use it. It was developed from scratch, so you need to train people in order to know how to use it properly. Not to mention the gratuitous amount of money that has to get poured into us. $5 billion have been spent so far by multiple railroads in order to get all of the equipment necessary to install this technology. Not to mention when traffic levels are low, you're not making as much money. Now the other big issue was the building of the wayside signaling systems, because I don't know if you know, but out west where you have many Indian reservations and tracks that run through Indian reservations, you need to get some sort of permit in order to be able to build on an Indian reservation, and then you have all this other stuff that has to happen, and it's just been a really big challenge for some of the railroads, especially in certain areas of the country, to get this stuff implemented. Not to mention there is so much track that needs to be covered. Roughly 60,000 miles of track need to be covered with this new technology, and today I believe it's only up to about 20,000 miles. Now the railroads have asked for an extension until at least 2018, but Congress hasn't acted on that yet. They've even threatened the railroads with fines if they don't have all of the technology installed by the 1st of January, which in turn the railroads have said back, well then we're just going to shut down. This is no joke. This is real stuff. They are threatening with a nationwide shutdown come December of this year, and the worst part is people have no clue what a nationwide railroad shutdown would have. The economy would fall $30 billion, 700,000 jobs would be lost, and millions of commuters from Chicago, DC, and anywhere else in the country would be stranded. Now, I don't know about you, but if you would want a railroad to implement new technology that no one has ever used before, would you want them to install it haphazardly and not know what they're doing, or install it at a rate where they can learn how to use it safely? Congress has said the railroads have had enough time to implement this technology, but with the 60,000 miles of track, the thousands of locomotives, and the thousands of wayside signaling systems, do you think they could safely do it in the time that they were allotted? It's not that they're shirking their responsibilities. It's that they want to make sure they're implementing it safely and correctly to prevent any accidents with it once it's installed and working. I've linked a description below to the Association of American Railroads website that gives you so much more information than I could possibly give on this. I encourage everyone to beseech Congress and ask them to extend the deadline from where it is until 2018. We can't afford a nationwide shutdown of America's railroads. If you don't believe that, then just think back to what built this country from the beginning. I'll see you next week.